Greetings, visionaries, innovators, and change makers. Welcome to day 2 of the second Global Speakers Talk annual live conference. My name is JB Herrera, founder and CEO of Insight Driven Business, and I am delighted to guide you through yet another transformative day of knowledge, connection, and personal growth. Yesterday, we explored the art of communication with public speaking hacks and tips, uncovering tools to amplify our voices and inspire meaningful change. Today, we shift our focus inward to confront one of the most critical barriers to success, the lies that we tell ourselves. So today, it challenges us to address the narratives that hold us back. These internal stories of self-doubt, unworthiness, or even fear are the greatest obstacles standing between us and our aspirations. Together, we will dismantle those limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering truths and build a mindset rooted in resilience, integrity, and possibility. This session is not just about overcoming, though, it's about thriving. It's about identifying the tools and strategies to redefine our potential and take specific, decisive steps towards achieving our goals. So through these thought-provoking talks, practical techniques, and inspiring stories, today's speakers will guide us to reclaim our power and unlock the mental clarity needed to propel forward. Now, as we step towards today's journey, I invite you to reflect on the invisible barriers that often hold you back. They're not physical walls, but they're stories we tell ourselves. So focus on that. Now, to illustrate this transformation, I'd love for you to indulge me. Let me share with you an allegory, a story about a village, a mountain, and the courage to break free from self-imposed limitations. And as you listen, think about the mountains in your own life and the reflections you see when facing your own inner mirror. Let's begin. This is the story of the mirror and the mountain. In a bustling village many, many years ago, nestled at the base of a towering mountain, the villagers lived in the shadow of a myth. The elders had passed down a story for generations. Anyone who dared climb the mountain would be confronted by a great and terrible mirror at its peak. This mirror, they said, would show a reflection so distorted and cruel that it would crush the climber's spirit and leave them lost forever. And for years, no one ascended the mountain. The villagers lived their lives believing the summit was unattainable, that content to gaze upward and longing, they told themselves, it's too dangerous, or I'm not strong enough, or even if I tried, I'd never make it. Well, one day, a young woman named Asha grew tired of the whispers of fear. She felt a pull toward the peak, not just for herself, but for her people. She dreamed of a world where they could live beyond the shadow of the mountain, free to explore its heights and discover its secrets. So, determined, she began her climb. The path was steep, and doubts whispered in her ears like echoes from the village below. You're not ready. Turn back before it's too late. But Asha pressed on. She was determined to confront the mirror for herself. When she reached the summit, she found the legendary mirror standing tall, its surface shimmering in the sunlight. Trembling, she stepped closer and gazed into it. And at first, the reflection was exactly as the elders had described, distorted and monstrous, showing every flaw, every fear, and every failure she had ever imagined about herself. But a funny thing happened. As she stood there, something shifted. She realized that the mirror's power was not in its reflection, but in her belief in its truth. She reached out, her fingers brushing the glass, and whispered, "You are not me." And in that moment, the mirror cracked, its surface shattering into a tiny 1,000 pieces. She stepped back and saw that beneath the broken mirror lay another layer, a clear, true reflection of her strength, her courage, and potential. So she descended the mountain carrying shards of the shattered mirror. And back in the village, she shared her story and placed the pieces where others could see their true reflections. Slowly, others began to climb the mountain, confronting their own mirrors and returning stronger, freer, and united by their shared journeys. The village transformed. No longer bound by the myth of fear, the people began to dream bigger, to create, to build a community where strengths and unique voices amplified one another. Together, they created a world where the mountains were no longer a barrier, but a beacon, a reminder of the beauty that lay in confronting and overcoming the lies they once believed. So, just like Asha and her village, today we have a chance to shatter the mirrors of doubt and fear that hold us back. When we free ourselves from these limiting beliefs, we not only unlock our own potential, but also inspire others to do the same. Together, we can build a world where people rise above self-imposed barriers, connect in shared purpose, and create a brighter, more united future. So today, let us begin the climb, one step, one belief, one breakthrough at a time. Okay, so let's get started. Please join me in welcoming our first speaker. Tracy Horton is an international award-winning speaker, author, and qualified life coach. She has worked alongside men and women for over 25 years, helping to rebuild lives and allowing people to become the best versions of themselves. She has spent years helping people create their own authentic journey. Guest lecturer at Griffith University, Queensland. She's a member of the Las Vegas Speakers Bureau and guest speaker at the Women's Economic World Forum worldwide. She's a woman of resilience, born into an abusive home, but she's not overcome that. But she's also teaches and inspires people all over the world to overcome their fears as well. So please welcome our first speaker today, Tracy Horton. Welcome, Tracy.
Thank you. Thank you. It's lovely to be here. I'm coming live from Australia this morning and it is 2 a.m. So forgive me if I just seem a little quiet. What I want to talk to you about today is not just the trauma that happens to you, because let me tell you this, 70% of adults receive trauma of some type in their lives before they're 35. So the chances of you and I needing this day, the chances of you and I needing to learn from these incredible people today, the chances of you and I needing to learn everything that's going to be on this conference today are extremely high. And this is why we do this stuff. This is why all these incredible people have joined me today, because what we want to talk to you about is not just the trauma. We get the trauma. The trauma is universal. We can agree with that, right? But it's how we apply it. Because I find this, as a neuroscience practitioner, our subconscious sits in the back of our minds and it is our very best friend. But what it does is it is absolutely designed to trigger in safety and support, which is fantastic, except for when you're trying to deal with something, because it understands that to go through something, we are going to have to feel things. And so what it does is when we're confronted with things that no longer serve us, when we're confronted with things that we need to change, it starts to tell us, don't do that. You don't want to feel that again. You don't want to relive that again. And I can testify to that because, as JB introduced me, I was born into a home of DV and mental illness. My father was a schizophrenic with 5 dissociative personalities. My mum was an alcoholic. So to say that my childhood was rough would be an understatement. And what I discovered was an incredible journey, not only in my own life, but in the lives of thousands of men and women I've worked with, which is this. At the point of trauma, we assign to it what we need for strength at that time. So for children, a lot of us assign shame. We assign shame because we cannot understand what's going on. We get so confused with what people do, and surely adults can't hurt us. And if we have a sudden loss, if all of a sudden somebody dies or our lives are upended or we have a major car accident that leaves us maimed or unable to work the way we used to, we can assign anger. And the reason we assign that is because it's a very strong emotion. And when we're sitting in anger, we are able actually to process things when we probably should be grieving. So what we do is we assign what we need at the time. The problem is that once we've assigned it, our subconscious holds on to that and understands that that's what we need. So when the time comes, when the time came for me at around 19 or 20 years of age, when I had some behaviors that were acting out because of the childhood I had to begin to learn how to reassign the strengths and weaknesses of what was happening and pick new emotions for it. That was not easy by any stretch of the imagination. But this is what I've learned. And I want to give you 3 golden keys today, because this is the fact. You're an incredible human. And you are designed for success. You're designed for wholeness. You're designed to live in a world right now where whatever is going on, you are more than able to cope with it, to lead it, to deal with it, and to live through it. You have the most incredible, powerful, magnificent mind, body, soul, and spirit. You were designed to overcome. So the first key is this. If you're struggling to overcome something, understand this. The less ego we have, the harder it will be. But it is important that we sit in reflective understanding that what has happened to us came for a primary purpose. And people often say to me, Tracy, how can you say that? Because part of my story, and I want to be very careful not to trigger anyone today, is that I was multiply sexually abused by different men. And so when people say to me, Tracy, how can you say that? I say this. I believe right now I'm on this webinar, I'm with these people, I'm in this genre, I'm working with this caliber of people because what happened to me has enabled me to take a journey of healing that I never would have taken. I never would have learnt the things I've done. I never would have done the achievements I've done. I never would have had the qualifications I've done had that not occurred. Now, I'm not saying I wished it had happened, trust me, but I am saying that no matter what happens, we can get over it. So the first thing we have to do is actually understand that we assigned the emotion right at that time because it's what we needed. So when it no longer serves us, a year, 2 years, 6 months, 1 month later, we can reassign it. We can choose to have whatever we want in place. And what I chose to have was resilience. And let me just explain resilience to you. Resilience is when you can sit in a place of strength where you don't need to be strong. And people misunderstand this so often, I find, because resilience is when you get to a place where you are able to do life in a way that people notice you're strong. You don't have to tell them. But it's also in a really placid place where strength just naturally ebbs and flows for you, where you're not grabbing at it, you're not pushing at it, you're not pulling it in so you can just get through another day. The other thing I love people to understand is this. Your life is yours. And when you can truly understand that, when you can sit in the understanding, and trust me, this took a minute for me, because as a young child, under the age of 10, a lot of my life was whipped out from under me. A lot of my life was decided for me. A lot of my life was taken on a route I didn't really want it to be taken on. But what I learnt was this. My life is mine. And every morning you wake up with the universe waiting for you to tell it what it wants. You wake up every morning and the universe is on hold, just waiting for you to whisper what you want from it. So when you wake up tomorrow or today and you've got a book and you've got the pen and you decide, if there's half a page already written from somebody else, you don't matter, you won't get there, you're no good with money, you won't get the promotion, people won't love you. You know what? You can scrap it all out. You can scrap it all out because nobody gets to say that to you unless you give them the permission. And sometimes, and again, I'm speaking to beautiful, heart-centered people here with little ego, you actually have to get really strong about actually not assigning. What you have to do is work out that you matter and that you are on this planet for a primary purpose, and that when we understand that, we can live in our fullness and we can create with the universe what we want every morning. Because without a doubt, as we wake every morning, scientifically it's been proven that the universe pauses around 2 a.m., which is exactly what time it is for me. And let me tell you, it is peaceful here. And our day starts actually at 4 a.m. when you look at it scientifically. And at that moment, you can hear the world, you can hear science, you can hear nature, you can hear the universe just whisper. They have proven this, and I think it's phenomenal. And what I think it's whispering is this. Today is your day, and anything you want, you can achieve. The key is, will you decide to pick it up? Will you decide that that is what you want? Thank you, JB, so much.
Wow, Tracy, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And we're going to give you some opportunity right now to go back and listen to the universe. What a perfect.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Everybody should really take a very brief moment to review what Tracy's just told you about resilience. It was a brilliant insight. It's a nugget. So I'd invite you to go back, listen to that, play it back and forth. It's a key to how you can actually become the person that you were meant to be. Thanks again, Tracy. Appreciate it. Well, let me go to our next speaker, Dr. Shara Downey. She is a pioneer female chiropractor in Singapore. She is considered by many to be among the best speakers and champions of natural health in Southeast Asia. As an international speaker and coach, she empowers other health practitioners and entrepreneurs who may be stuck or need to start over, helping them pivot with confidence, courage, and immediate results. She's been featured in numerous chiropractic and entrepreneur podcasts and is a contributing author to various publications featuring female global leaders. Let's welcome to the stage Dr. Shara Downey. Dr. Shara, how are you?
Hello, hello. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Thank you for coming.
I'm so glad to be here. Thank you, everyone, for having me. I really thank you, Tracy, for putting such a foundation to what we're talking about today. I think so often we can trivialize and look at mindset like, I've heard it. I know it all. But honestly speaking, the time you take to sit with your emotion, with your experience, and integrating that, and then how to use it to your best positivity is what we really are all looking at today. Now, I'm going to share a little bit of some strategy of how you can use that in success or in your business. But ultimately, if you're able to utilize your experience to the best of your ability, that's what we're all here to do, to help you to champion that. Now, I want you to take a moment and just picture brand new mom, toddler running in the background, baby's just been fed, hair messy, totally exhausted on the sofa. And a phone call comes in. Your replacement, the clients don't like her. We're not bringing in any sales. We don't have enough money for the vendors. And I'm worried that we're not going to be able to make rent. That's the exact phone call I got after the birth of my second son. Now, I was the breadwinner in the family, and I had no choice, no option. Packed up the toddler, packed up the baby, and had to go back to work after 4 weeks. Now, we were in dire straits in the business. I had no option to just try things, throw things at the wall and see if it would work. I had to do what would work the fastest. So I sat with my staff. We got clear. We got focused. We got settled. And then we took one step forward and made our path work. But at the end of the day, we all had to be aligned and working together. Now, why I bring this up is because mindset really matters. We didn't have money for ads. We didn't have new strategies. There was nothing new about what we did outside of getting very clear and getting our mindset to work for us, not against us. Now, I want you to picture your mind as like a general. It's always looking for proof. And if you don't direct it on the right path, it's going to bring you stuff. And it may not be the stuff that you're actually looking for. It may be things that are distracting you or taking you away from your actual goal or your purpose. So just keeping that in mind, we're learning today strategies on how to get that general in line and working in our favor. So our mindset dictates our decisions, dictates our actions, and dictates our pivot or our resilience. So every single day we're receiving 11 million, up to 1 billion pieces of information. And based on our background, our experience, our culture, we're going to put that in different drawers. We're going to distort some of it. We're going to delete some of it. We're going to generalize some of it. But at the end of the day, we only take in about 128 pieces of it. So you can imagine how much is still left there in awareness and perspective that we haven't even considered. And so I ask you today, what thing can you do to take yourself forward that may make you more flexible, more groovy versus being very rigid? A lot of us, as we age, because we think we've seen it all and done it all, that we become a bit more rigid. And what do? Mindset jail. We put ourselves into mindset jail. And so with that, we don't allow for opportunities or possibilities of things we've never considered before. So there's many different types of mindset traps, but I want to talk about the top 3 today. First one is fear of rejection. Now, there is a whole host of different reasons why we may have that. And Tracy went into a very deep and meaningful way of how we assign emotion at different ages with things that we may not understand. That is all work for another day. But on a daily basis, we're also assigning meaning on just little experiences that we have every single day. And we're putting ourselves into traps. So the fear of rejection commonly comes from we're worried about ourselves. If you have a service or a product, or you're trying to help someone, and if you're commonly saying to yourself, oh, they didn't buy from me. What's wrong with me? Oh, why won't they buy my product? What's the commonality in that? Me. When our focus, in fact, should be the person you're serving. Because believe me, regardless of what your product or your service or your corporate job is, at some point, you are serving someone else. So if you take a moment to actually think of and consider them and how you can best serve them, the fear of rejection actually melts away, because it just might not be the right time, might not be the right product. It may not be the right place for them. It has actually nothing to do with you personally. Secondly is perfectionism. Now, a lot of us procrastinate. A lot of us take time to get things right. But that getting right takes forever. And a lot of time we're missing things. The highway of opportunity, pew, just passes right past us. And we're missing opportunities of great things that are being brought into our path by the universe, because we're not in alignment with it and we don't even see it. It's not in our awareness. Harvard University says 20% of entrepreneurs worry so much about being perfect that they miss progress and they miss out on customers and opportunities all the time. Now, the last one, and this one is close to my heart because as a chiropractor, I've studied for 10 years. I have a master's in public health and a whole host of other degrees. So I like information. But this last mindset trap is analysis of paralysis, where we have more than ever in history information than we know what to do with. And if we take time to analyze every single piece, we're going to find it contradicts each other. It may not serve us. And then we get stuck in the minutia of information, never taking a step. Now, I want you to imagine you're going to get into your car. You're going to go on a road trip. And let's say we're just in Los Angeles, but we want to get to New York. Now, if you get into your car, what happens? Turn on GPS. It gives you a general path. But unless that car moves, it cannot give you more directed information. It cannot give you more of a clear direction where to go. We have to reverse the car and start going forward to find out, oh, there's a road closure. Oh, there's a mudslide. Don't go on that highway. That highway's busy. It's the same thing in life. You need to take a step forward to know how things are going to work out for the next step. And most of us are so busy analyzing how to do everything that we forget to take that step and we don't get anywhere. So what happens when we put ourselves into mindset jail? We get burnt out. We're doing the same thing over and over and over, just like a hamster in a wheel, but expecting different results. What does that equal? Well, Einstein said it best. That means insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. We're getting burnt out. We're overwhelmed and we're missing our targets. So we're looking west when in fact we should be looking east. And it doesn't allow for creative possibilities. So what happens with our minds when we want to go somewhere we've never been before or do something we've never done before is it's going through the past. It's going through the Rolodex of your experience. But you've never done this before. So how can that mind actually give you the most creative possible solution for now? It doesn't. It keeps you trapped, making you think that you can't do this. What if it doesn't work for me? What if I fail? What happens if people see me fail? All of these things that go through our mind. So we have to allow ourselves to be open to different creative possibilities that may come from an outside source. For example, if all of a sudden you've decided to put up some Facebook posts and you want your blog to get some traction and nothing's happening and you just keep rewording what you've already written, not much is going to change. But if you're open to possibility and you're open to feedback and you're working in collaboration with people, they're going to give you perspectives and ideas that you've never even considered. What about that person that walks in your door one day and says, hey, I found this. Have you ever used this before? This software? Have you ever tried this before? Because it might bring something into your awareness that you've never even considered. Creative possibilities is what your mind is excellent at, but you have to send it marching in the proper path. So that's our first strategy for overcoming mindset jail, is you have to be open to awareness. Now, if I asked you all today, hey, let's go buy a red Porsche. Candy apple red, sun is going to shine on the paint. It's going to look fabulous. In the next 24 hours, before you even leave your home and you look out the window and all of a sudden you're on the way to work, guess what's going to happen? You're going to see that red Porsche everywhere, right? Same make, same model. Is there more cars on the road? I don't think so. It's that you've opened your awareness. You've opened your perspective, right? So now you can start to see things that you're never necessarily saw before because your mind was blocking them out. The second strategy is your questions that you're asking yourself. And this is really key. Tony Robbins says this all the time. The quality of your questions will match the quality of your life. So what happens if we do a project and it bombs? It really doesn't make the mark. What do most of us do? Oh, seriously? How did that not work? How come that didn't work this time? Now listen to the question. Why didn't that work? Your brain's brilliant. It's going to go find you some proof. It's going to give you a shopping list of things of why it didn't work this time. But are those really the answers that you're looking for? So the quality of the question will determine the quality of your answer. How is it that I can change this one thing? How can I change this blog so that it has a better response? Open up yourself to curiosity. So I like questions that are open-ended, no definitive answer, no yes or no. So I always ask myself, what is my advantage here? How do I unlock some possibility in this area today? And let yourself sit with it, because you will actually naturally bring into your awareness, open your mind to things around you that you hadn't considered that are there to actually help you. Let yourself be open and curious, and you'll be surprised at some of the creative solutions that you have coming. The next strategy I like to talk about is the 2-minute rule. Now, as kids, when we had our favorite candy, if it fell on the floor, 5 seconds, everyone picks it up, blows off the dirt and eats that candy. Now, this is the 2-minute rule for work. What you can do in 2 minutes: emails, filing, tidying your desk, get it done. Take that big project that feels overwhelming and you don't know where to start, just put 2 minutes on it. You may be able to organize it into what to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You may see one thing about it that you go, oh, I can actually do that today. Why is this important? Your mind needs tasks and it needs proof. So if you're taking small steps to show progress, to show momentum, it proves to your mind that action is positive. It will help to combust all of those procrastination actions. Netflix, reading a book, sitting on the sofa, all those things that you do to avoid doing what you know you need to do. And lastly, I want to talk about support. Now, I know out there's the world of coaching and mentorship and all of these things, and you need to pick what's best for you. But ideally, you want to surround yourself with a community of people that are like-minded, that are going where you want to go, who've been where you want to be, and those that you can take with you. Why is this important? Proximity is power. The 5 people you spend the most time with will show the success in your life. Now, it's not that those people are bad people, but if they're going into a different direction, it's going to be pulling you apart internally, emotionally, mentally. And so you have to put yourself in a community of where you want to spend time, of where those people are going that you want to be going as well. Now, I want you to think again about your little mind. It's your general. It's willing to take orders and to march forward. So give it those open-ended questions so that you can stay curious and open to possibility, and you will be amazed at some of those signs and results that you get brought into your life that you never, ever would have considered. So I want to invite all of you as well. We're doing a overcome failures and focus on those obstacles of mindsets. We're doing a masterclass next week, so we can delve into this further. That may help you for the new year. It's a great kickstart, and this will allow you to really get yourself in order so that you can keep yourself open to possibility and to open to curiosity. Thank you.
Wow, Dr. Shara, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I invite everybody to take a look at the little scrolling ticker down at the bottom. Take an opportunity to go down there and check out the courses. Dr. Shara can really help you. Please, please, please take advantage of this. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Well, we'd like to go to our next speaker, Dorela Iepan. She is a certified emotion code and body code and belief code coach. She's also an EFT and matrix re-imprinting expert and holistic wellness coach. Wow, that's a big set of experiences for you. With over 1,000 hours of one-on-one healing sessions, she empowers individuals to transform their lives, heal past traumas, and unlock their potential. Dorela combines her expertise in various healing modalities to create a compassionate and supportive environment, guiding her clients towards a life of harmony, love, and fulfillment. She also offers group workshops and personalized coaching to help people overcome their challenges and embrace their true selves. Please welcome to the stage, Dorela Iepan.
Hello, and thank you so much for having me here. Thank you, JB, and hello, everyone. I am so happy to be here and listening to my these previous talks. I was thinking, oh my God, I totally think the same way. And while listening, I thought of the famous quote from Henry Ford. I heard it in The Secret. Maybe you've watched the movie. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And this is all about mindset. If you think of something that's possible, it will be possible. If you think it's impossible, it will be impossible. So it's really, really important to decide if you want to have something in your life. From that decision, you can work through that through your mindset. But as you said, I am a certified practitioner in the belief code, and that helped me to understand that even though we would like to think of something, it's like we cannot take the action. And actually, this is what happens when we are trying to do things, because our thoughts become our beliefs, and they are stopping us or preventing us to have whatever we want in our lives. Just think of this. Think of the biggest goal that you might have. I had such a goal like 14 years ago, and it seemed impossible, but I just launched that goal in the space. And after 10 years or so, that biggest goal of my life became true. It seemed really impossible. There was no chance to have it done. Working through mindset, little shifts, one shift at a time, my reality transformed completely. So I would like for you to think of these two possibilities. You have your beliefs because of your past experiences. Oh, you've seen that. I know that people are like this because of my previous experiences. And there is another possibility. My beliefs attract my experiences, and I will attract more and more experiences that will make my beliefs even stronger. Actually, this is the way things happen in your life. And I have something I always like to share, so I hope my screen will allow me to share it. Just imagine you are this magnet. Well, the magnet will be able to attract only what can be attracted. So if I try, I want this, I have this goal, but I'm not aligned with my goal, it will fall. And I am attracting what's aligned with me. Just think of your beliefs. Your beliefs will attract your experiences. And you cannot attract the experiences that are not aligned with you. So let's see a little bit further. Your beliefs and your emotions will decide what are the experiences you will have in your life. And because of your beliefs and your emotions, you won't be able to make huge changes unless you work your beliefs and your emotions. I am certified in emotion code, body code, belief code, EFT, and matrix free imprinting, but these are not the only techniques that you can use to transform your emotions and beliefs. You can use many techniques. The important thing is to make one step forward every single day. And by taking one step forward, as the girls were sharing, Tracy and Shara, when you make one step forward, you will be able to understand what's the next step to be taken. And about common lies that we might have about mindset, the common lies are the common beliefs that you might have. For instance, I am Romanian and I live in France. Usually, when we change country, we think that we are not appreciated, that it will be hard, that it will be difficult. And my beliefs were, I am special. People will always like me. I will be always appreciated because I am always giving 100% at least. And this was the reality I created. We are now in the global speakers talk. So I know English, I know French, I am Romanian, and I'm speaking in English. And I'm fluent in English. Sometimes I make mistakes, but I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. My mindset supported me to go wherever I wanted to arrive. Think of your own mindset. Do you settle with small? Do you dream big? Do you take action? And I was saying a little bit about beliefs. For instance, in the belief code, we identify 4 levels of beliefs. In the body code, we have some extra beliefs. And it's really interesting for you to think that you have negative programs, limiting beliefs, faulty core beliefs, and faulty core identities. The negative programs are the closest to what you can think of, what you can visualize, what you can see, and actually seeing the negative programs. Sometimes you're like realizing, yeah, I truly have negative programs. But when we dive deeper, you sometimes are not even conscious of them. And when you get to the faulty core identities, this is really deep. We can visualize the beliefs in the belief code as negative programs like the branches of the tree. Then the limiting belief is the trunk of the tree. So you have your goal and you can ask yourself, what's preventing me from achieving my goal? And the answer will be your negative programs. But why do I have those negative programs? The answer will be your limiting beliefs. Why do I have limiting beliefs? And the answer will be the roots of the tree, the faulty core beliefs. And sometimes they go with the faulty core identity, the soil where the belief system was growing. And the faulty core identity means you cannot conflict with your identity. It's a limiting identity. Like, I cannot do that. Everyone is better than me. I don't like what I achieve in my life. I don't know how to love myself. People are mean to me. We have plenty of beliefs that we can have as an identity. And if someone comes in your life proving this identity wrong, you will make the impossible to take them away from your life because you have to prove your identity right, that faulty core identity. And when you understand that there is a process to identify and to release the limiting beliefs, your goal will be so much closer. So, whatever the tool you use, just think of this. If you set up a goal, set up your goal and decide that you want to achieve it. Not the steps to be taken, just one first step of action. And from that, everything will unveil step by step. Because as I saw it in the Secret movie, it's still live in my head. And out of no way, a way will be made when you take that first step of action. And your mindset will shift one step at a time. As for myself, I have group workshops, and you can attend for my next workshop. It will be only in January, the 17th of January in English. Because, as I said, I am Romanian, I live in France. Now I give a talk in English, and I work also in Italian. I have 4 languages in which I work, and in every single language I have workshops. So if you are interested, you can participate for my next workshop in your language of choice. Just go in the courses, dorelaiepan.com. You can download the app, because I have an app where you can discover the workshops, the events, and even the book I have written, The Perfect Relationship. Whatever goal you have, you will achieve it with the right mindset. GB, thank you for everything, and I really hope I inspired at least one person. You're muted, GB. We don't hear you.
Well, you certainly inspired me, so I'm heading over to the courses right now. So, and I strongly encourage everybody to do exactly the same. Dorela is an amazing person, and not only just amazing from a personal perspective, but her message and the tools and the courses that she has are really the kinds of courses that you need to have to take your life to the next step. So please take advantage of the opportunity that she's provided for you and help you live the life of your dreams. Thanks, Dorela.
Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you,
it. All right, so I'd like to move towards our next speaker. Shiraz Babu is a multi-award-winning author, international speaker, and reality interventionist. He's known for helping people to rewrite their reality and overcome challenges in their lives. Shiraz has helped thousands of people to overcome illness, poverty, and unconsciously addicted struggles. Overall, he's a renowned personality in the area of reality addiction, and his book, How to Rewrite Reality, has changed lives across the globe. So I welcome to the stage Shiraz Babu. Shiraz, welcome.
Thank you so much, JB. Great to be here. And I just want to start with a question. Do you know that the thing that annoys you the most might be your secret source of joy? Seriously. So I'm going to tell you how that works. And first of all, I want to thank JB. I want to thank something just almost burped there. Global Speakers for putting on this event to help, showcase and empower other speakers. And I really appreciate being here. I've been watching the talks. It's been fabulous. So I am Shiraz. It means one who is sweet. Now, by the time I was 17, my parents realized they should have named me Sahir, which means one who is sarcastic, but that ship had sailed. So here I am. And thank you. And I found out that you're secretly getting joy for things that annoy you. And it was in very annoying ways, but this is what I've built my business around. So to give you an example, we'll use speaking. I've been speaking for years, and for a long time, when I was speaking, I'd be up on stage and I would be just getting the crowd going. I would get standing ovations, and people would come up to me afterwards and they say, Shiraz, loved your talk. I feel so inspired. And then I'd say, well, great. Would you like to join my program? They're like, no, I'm good. And then they'd walk away and I'd be like, did I just get friend zoned? Like, that's what it felt like. And I was just like, what is going on? Why can't I get more people into my programs? Now, I did make a good living. I was doing about $100,000 a year, but I couldn't get above that. And I'm like, why can't I make more than $100,000 a year? I got to 100 fairly easy. I know the methods, but things aren't working. So finally, I worked with one of my coaches, and we found out that when I was a teenager, my friends, my family would say, Shiraz, we see you're a smart guy. We see you're creative. We have no doubt that you're going to make millions of dollars. And I'm like, great, cool. I mean, you're all on board with me. And then they said, and then we get to come hang out with you at your house on the beach. We get to travel with you around the world. And they thought this was the best thing ever. And my mind went, oh my God, they're all going to leech on me. Oh, hell no. So my unconscious mind decided, $100,000 is enough that you can live comfortably, but not so much that suddenly everyone will descend and start leeching off you and hanging out with you when you don't want and guilting you into taking you wherever you want. When I worked that out with my coach, I got to a point where it's like, you know what? If I make a lot of money, then if they say, can I come stay at your house? No. I mean, there are times there will be a yes, but there'll be no guilt involved. There'll be no, oh my God, I don't want to have these conversations. It'll be nope, nope, nope. Okay, that one's good. We'll do that. Nope. And when I made that decision, all this relief came up. Now, here's the thing about why it was my secret source of joy, because it feels like that's not joy. When I'm in that story of if I make lots of money, then people are going to leech off me. What happens in my place of being stuck at $100,000 is I watch other people that are making lots of money, and I see people asking them for favors. Can I have some money? Can I hang out with you? And them having to have these discussions. And my unconscious mind is like, see, we don't have to do that. Yes. And hits me with dopamine. And so now, similar to looking for the red Porsche, I'm looking for evidence of people getting asked, can I have some money? Can you give to my charity? Can you invest in my business? By all these people that have money. And I'm seeing it. And every time I'm getting a hit of dopamine. So I'm creating an addiction to being exactly where I am. So this is not just a mindset thing. This is a physical addiction in your body. And that's what a lot of people miss. Because what you get to a belief and you break the belief, what's going to happen is your life is going to change. Things are going to get better, right? You may get healthier, you may make more money, you may have better relationships, but your body is now missing its fix. So what it's going to do is it's going to start sending signals to your brain saying, go back to the old habits, come back so we can get our fix again. And you get this yo-yo result. If you keep trying, you'll see that in your life. But for a lot of people, it's just, I tried to get out and I lost it. And then they were done and they're back into the addiction because that's what your body wants you to do. So having worked with this concept of addiction, when my coach told me, well, this is what's going on, I broke the addiction. There's several methods that I used to stay out of the addiction. And then the next time I got up on stage, it was interesting because I was on stage, it was a physical stage, but we were also online. And I did my talk. I was in a completely different energy. And when I got off the stage, I'm walking back to where I was sitting and I see my phone lighting up with what I thought were text messages. And I thought, oh, some people must have seen me online. They're saying congratulations. When I get there, they're deposit notifications because the thing I sold on stage, they were all buying. Over the next year, my income went from $100,000 to $200,000. And then the next year after that, I did $1 million in sales. That one belief was locking me in and giving me a fix the entire time. So this is what reality addiction is all about. This is what you are living in if you're not on the stages you want to be on, if you're not getting big enough stages, if you're not getting paid in the way you want. Any consistent problem is the solution for an emotional problem you're not looking at and the source of a fix. So my emotional problem, I don't want to have to be guilted into giving things to people to let them stay at my house. So The physical problem is don't make the money, so that can't happen. And then the fix comes in as I watch other people deal with that. I actually worked with one of my clients. She ran an event online. She'd been doing for 8 years. And every year they had about 3,000 people online for the event. And she calls me up 2 days before the event. And she says, Shiraz, you got to help me. There's only 1,500 people registered for the event. And I'm like, okay, you still got 2 days. Don't most people register in the last couple of days? She goes, I've been doing this for 8 years. I know how many people are supposed to be registered. We're way under. And I'm like, okay, so why don't you want people to be there? She's like, what are you talking about? Of course I want people to be there. That's why I'm calling you. I said, no, because if people aren't showing up, you don't want them to show up. You are unconsciously making sure people don't show up. And this is the crazy thing. We can affect other people's decisions with our beliefs. It's a crazy thing. It's called swapping stories. Your stories are contagious and other people's stories are contagious, and you jump back and forth with stories. And you can affect people that aren't even in the room. So I asked her, why don't you want people to show up? She goes, no, I want them to show up. And I said, okay, you've done this for years. What's different this year? She said, I'm hosting it. I said, you host it every year. She goes, no, I run it every year. I always get a host in. This year, I'm the host. I'm like, oh, okay. So what are you afraid is going to happen when you're up on stage hosting? And she's like, oh, what if I don't know what to say? And I freeze. What if I'm interviewing someone and I say the wrong thing and I insult them or I get them angry, right? And I said, okay, there's a whole bunch of reasons here coming up as to why you don't want people to be here, because if you screw up, you're going to feel embarrassed or humiliated or upset or whatever it is. And those are the emotions you're trying to prevent by causing people not to show up at the event. She's like, okay, I get it. Let's clear it. So I did some work with her. We cleared the belief. 2 days later, 8,000 people showed up online for that event. She's just like, what is this? I said, apparently it wasn't just you. You were also worried that the people might screw up. So while 3,000 seemed like a good number, you were still holding back. Once we cleared that stuff in you, it changed the entire dynamic of your event. Imagine if by shifting some of your thoughts, the amount of people that you had at your event doubled, tripled, 10 times. We actually cleared some more beliefs in the next year. 14,000 people showed up for that event. So that's what's possible once you realize what the story is, what the emotion is that the story is protecting, and dealing with the addiction to that story. It's a crazy phenomenon, but as a speaker, you need to know this so that you can get on bigger stages, feel confident, and just rock the stages. The other thing is, in order to get out of an addiction, you have to be able to train your brain to think the thoughts you want to think instead of the thoughts that show up. And that requires visualization. It actually requires brain training, because not only do you have to think those thoughts, you have to hold those thoughts for about 30 seconds or more. And most people can hold a thought for about 7 seconds or less, right? Which is about the same as a goldfish. So you can understand why some people can manifest really well and other people keep trying and don't. Because if you're, say, thinking about yourself up on stage, if you think about yourself up on stage and then flash to a different stage or flash to a different idea because of what you're talking about on stage, then you're going to have these little segments of thoughts and your brain's going to know that's not real. But if you continuously see yourself on stage, and it's better if you're doing it from a first person point of view, so your mind can't tell if it's real or imagined, then it thinks it's real. And it starts rewiring your neural pathways to be, this is who I am. So imagine yourself on stage, feel that confidence, feel the love coming from the audience. The emotions are important, and start giving that talk and keep doing it for at least 30 seconds. Your mind's going to think it's actually happening, and then start rewiring your neural pathways. And in order to train your brain to do this, I've actually created some audios, and they're called Stop Thinking Like a Goldfish audios. And some of them are only 2 minutes long. They help you to focus on a single thing, a sound, your breathing, something you're touching. And by using these audios, you can build that mental muscle that you can then use for visualization and then create whatever the hell you want. So I invite you to stop thinking like a goldfish. It'll be a lot of fun. So that's what I wanted to cover today. I wanted to be succinct. I wanted to get the message to you and make you understand exactly what's going on. Treat your reality like an addiction. Because here's the thing, your body wants to be addicted to something, but now you can decide what you want to be addicted to. For instance, I used to be addicted to working hard. I felt really good, working so hard, and I accomplished so much, and I'm so proud, except I would work all night. I get burned out. Now I decided, what if I get addicted to things just happening really quickly and easily? And so I will decide, I'm going to do this project. And someone says, oh, I know someone else has done that project. They can probably give you all the material and you can just copy and paste and tweak. And I'm like, oh, that's way easier. And then I get my fix from that. Look, it happened again. And then look, it happened again and happened again. And now I'm addicted to things being easy. Wouldn't it be great if you were addicted to everything being easy? So yeah, I see it on the bottom there. Go to Goldfish No More to get the audios, start training your brain, and create an amazing life for yourself. I'm Shiraz. Thank you. And you are still muted.
So thank you, Shiraz. I appreciate it. Some great ideas and concepts that you've discovered and are disclosing to everybody here. It's amazing when you think about addiction and how you can turn addiction from a negative concept into something that's positive. To train your mind to create and hold your thoughts for 30 seconds and turn your thoughts into something that deliver something that you want as a goal in a short period of time and make it easy at the same time. Wonderful opportunity for people. Please take the opportunity. Goldfish No More. Shiraz Babu. Thank you so much, Shiraz. Appreciate it, man.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, you take care.
You too.
All right, what I'd love to do is take us to a different part of the world. And our next speaker, he is Bertie LaRue. Bertie is South African born and bred. He began his journey in the 70s. So he's he's a guy from my culture, my time frame, with a business degree and teaching diploma, and transitioning to business. He's got an honors degree in business management, and it's fueled his passion for diverse growth. Over 40 years, he's evolved from a manager to a transformative coach, mentor, consultant, author, and speaker. He's earned awards and embraced challenges worldwide, as a standout being his first international speaking opportunity in Mumbai in 2020. He's an active athlete at 69, penning Belief to Achieve, a leader's journey from invisible to invincible, inspiring others to live passionately and purposefully, irrespective of life's challenges to mind and body. Please welcome to the stage, Bertie LaRue. Bertie, how are you today?
I am very well, JB. Thank you very much. And I'm here and I'm all in one piece, as you say.
There you go. I love it. Thanks.
Glad to be here. I must just add that I have prepared a very nice presentation, which I now believe I cannot use. So I will have to reshape my talk. But let's do that and do the best of that. I am ready to share my passion with everybody out there. And once again, thanks for the opportunity. I would just like to take you back to 2018, when I was offered an opportunity by a dear friend to go live on his stream radio station. At that stage, a mic was probably one of the strangest items to me, and I just hated public speaking. Yesterday, I was told exactly why I had that fear. Today, I still have butterflies, but I don't have that fear anymore. But the opportunity that was offered to me to be on his stream radio station, of just visiting once, changed into 4 years of being very much a part of his work-life balance event. Why I'm sharing it with you today, why I'm sharing that today with you is that we never planned every talk, any talk. It was just live and it was off the cuff. We were talking from our brain, from our heart, from our gut, sharing life experiences. People would ask us questions and come through and via WhatsApp or SMS. And one of those questions that we put to us most was about identity. And I learned there that the struggle that people have is with who they are, not what they are. They believe that what they are is the answer. But what they are is really just sticking a label on your forehead and saying what you are in terms of your job, your description, where you come from, who's your parents, which school you're going, all those things that defines the external me, not the internal who am I. So over time, that became a passion of mine to speak to people about identity. And that's why I'm currently very much talking about belief to achieve. And I will later on in my talk discuss the concept of belief. But belief to achieve to me is important. And I've written a book. I've co-authored chapters in books about the same subject. Belief to achieve to me is important because belief is everything. And our previous speaker, Dorela, also highlighted the concept of belief. If you believe it, you can do it. We know that. It's not just an imagination. Believe it, and you can achieve it. So I will quickly go through to you with that. But second to that, the other story I want to share with you that molds my talk up to date is it's a slide live now. Okay.
Your slides are live, Bertie.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. The next story I just want to share with you is during this 4 years that I was doing that, I was once down in Cape Agulhas, which is the southernmost tip of Africa. And I was sitting there, decided that day was such a beautiful day. I'm going to do my live chat online from a dune next to the ocean. And as I was sitting there preparing for the talk, I was looking over the ocean and I saw the wide expanse of the ocean. And it came to me that, you know, a little boat on this ocean will be invisible for everybody. And if that boat is rudderless, it is even worse off just floating, following the currents. And as I sat there and I looked over my shoulder, I could see the lighthouse on the southernmost tip of Africa, more than 100 years old. And I'd realized that that's the definition of invincibility. So what I would like to do is what to say to people and share with them and help them to understand. And when we talk about mindsets and we talk about when we talk about the identity, it is all about how do you see yourself and how do you feel? Are you invisible or have you reached a state of invincibility, self-belief? So let me just go through these definitions quickly. And we understand clearly. When we talk about mindset, we actually talk about a set of beliefs, how you perceive and react to the world. The key elements, belief and world. And if I talk about identity, it's a set of qualities, beliefs, values, and experiences that define who you are and how you see yourself in relation to the world. React to the world in relation to the world. And a belief is a conviction or an acceptance that something is true, shaping how we interpret and engage with the world. Once again, very key here is the world. So it's important, therefore, to understand when I talk about my identity, yes, it is my fingerprint. It's a uniqueness of me, who I am. But it's important that I understand that principle and the concept throughout our lives. And when I share and I talk about passions and purpose, it is very much in line with identity and mindset. Because my passion is actually defined by who I am. And my purpose is actually defined by why I am. my legacy. So it's important to understand those two concepts, but it's all come down to belief. But in the experiences that I have, and what I have in my personal life experience, and therefore experience in other people's lives, is that we must understand. And let me just quickly jump to a next slide. Is that our mindsets? One can actually say it's a set of minds. Why am I saying that? When we grow up, every born between 0 and 7, often refer to children as they are sponges. They just take everything in. It's, monkey see, monkey do. And that's exactly how we create and we establish our mindsets, through experiences. Experiences from day one, from that first smile that you probably have experienced and shared with your mother after birth, by the age of 7, we've molded, we've created a set of our beliefs, right? Create a core beliefs from which we develop and we grow further. So what I'm actually saying, I'm saying that if you show me a boy of 7, I can probably show you the man he's going to be one day. Because those experiences that he has experienced up to that date is what he built on his future. How do we do that? I can easily refer to them as tapes, CDs, tracks on a CD. Every experience we have in life, we store that in our subconscious mind, in our mind, so a set of minds. And when a situation occurs, we play those tapes and we act accordingly. We'll give you an example. It's really the time of the year. You walk into a store, you walk into a confectionery and a bakery, and you smell Christmas cookies. And the moment I smell Christmas cookies, I can see my grandmother in the kitchen. I can see her eyes, I can see her face, I can see a smile, a little bit of tiredness in the corner of it because she's been out there baking cookies all day long. Flower in her hair, apron, pretty apron, and cookies all over. I can taste the icing that I licked through my finger that I rubbed down in the bowl of icing. I can taste the cake and I can feel the saliva in my mouth coming free. And it's all an experience that I've stored as I grew up with what happened around Christmas. So it's important we understand, therefore, that when we talk about mindsets, is that it's a set of stored tapes. They call it Sheman, refer to the cognitive framework or the concept that helps us, organize and interpret information through our lives. So when between 7 and 12, we build on the core beliefs that we developed in the first 7 years. And even at the adolescence and beyond, we still continue that through our life. But what is important is that we must understand that our brain doesn't have the ability to distinguish between right and wrong. So doesn't matter what experiences you had, where it comes from, whether it's school, home, community, religion, doesn't matter. You store those tapes, and when something that situation you respond according to your experience. So if you've been bullied, inadvertently, when you come in a position one day as a leader or as a manager, the chances that you are going to bully your staff and your people around you is very good. You might not even know that because you think it's right. When the situation, you act as if you are the bully and you hated every second of being bullied. And unfortunately, that's life, and unfortunately, that's happening. But we can do something about it. As a coach, as a mentor. I understand that. And that's where I start when I deal with my clients. It's you must go down to the core to understand why they do what they do the way they do it. And you can then help them to understand whether it is right or wrong, or good or bad. Because fortunately, we can identify those tapes and rewrite them, or even delete them and create brand new ones. That's an area that I don't want to dabble in, because that is not for me. But that can be done, and I'm sharing that with you because to me it's so important. It's so critical. We cannot talk about mindset. We cannot talk about identity if we cannot understand that it's not our fault. Each of us were born unique, gifted by our God, and entrusted to make a difference to the world. Unfortunately, most of us spent the rest of our life trying to fit in, whilst we were born to stand out. It is based on much of that is based on our life experiences, unfortunately. And we just react in what has happened to us. All right, so what can we do to transform our mindset? I just said that there is ways and means of addressing that, deleting and rewriting them. But when we talk about mindsets, and then let's help each other and understand, can we transform our mindset? Yes, we can. We can, through awareness, identify our limiting beliefs that are holding us back and change them. The challenges that we face in life, those I can't, or how can I can do that. Need some help, and someone else can do it on our own. And it is not that big a problem. Learn, embrace the failures as values feedback for growth. Focus, set stretch goals to push your boundaries. Dorela also spoke about that. You know, if we have clear enough goals, our goals will pull us into the future because we have set them ourselves. We have conceived them. Why should we not believe them and live accordingly? Part of helping you with this, you've got to surround yourself with successful people. Understand when you want to grow and develop yourself in life, you've got to understand that we probably through our life will have to change our situation that we're in. Not have to, we should. Because if you stay where you're at, how do you rise above that if everyone else pull you down? It's a life fact. People doesn't like others to achieve beyond the expectations and not take them with. But most of them is not willing to follow that path. That path is often extremely difficult. But once we understand we can, we probably change our friendship circle. Next step, we want to share with you, cultivate a growth mindset. At the end of the day, what do we need? We need a growth mindset, not a set and a stuck mindset. It's a constant growing environment that we're in, and it's a constant changing, challenging environment that we find ourselves in. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we cultivate a growth mindset? By reflecting, identify what is holding you back. And if you can't do it on your own, find a trusted advisor. A trusted advisor meaning a friend, a colleague, somebody that you can truly trust with your future and with your dreams. It is said that we should not share our dreams with everybody, because then we give them opportunity to shoot us down. Keep your dreams, but share it with trusted people to help them, because they may just be able to help you to put a foot in the door. So identify what's holding you back and actively change it. Work to change it. Change the environment. Change the situation. In fact, commit one small step at a time. If you want to achieve your goals and you will achieve your dreams and your vision, you've got to take the first step. That is growth. That is transformation. You have to go that step. And then connect. Join a community, as I said. Join other people, like-minded people, and they will pull you into their future and help you to succeed. Successful people share, help others to become successful. I shared before the concept of passion and purpose. Passion being who am I, and purpose, why am I? A dear friend of mine, Dr. Pixie in South Africa, shared with me the 3 Ps. And she said, if the 3 Ps are in balance and in sync, you will be successful. But that means passion plus purpose equals prosperity. Prosperity, success, money, whatever your dreams are, is prosperity or success in your environment. But if prosperity becomes the overempowering drive in your life, you will not have balance. You will probably lose the other two and not be successful over the long run. You would have lost your family, lost your wife, lost your business even. You've got to have your passion and purpose first. And then prosperity will come on its own. You don't even have to drive that. That will be natural. It will be there. I conclude. I want to close off by just once again sharing with you the concept that we must understand where we come from and why we're here. And if you are like me, you will probably also feel stuck. And we're at quite often. So my wish is that in this time of wishes, and I'm certain Santa has got a couple of wishes left for us. For those of us that are feeling stuck in the season of wishes, that my wish is for you to develop an unwavering growing mindset, which would allow you to break free from the entrapment of your past, so that you can live your deserved life, understanding your identity, who you are, understand your mindset, where you come from, and why you often do what you do the way you do it. Understanding that will free you from those shackles that's keeping you back. Thank you, JP. Appreciate the time I could spend with you.
Thank you, Bertie. Appreciate it. Great deep insights. Really interesting information, and thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it.
Pleasure. Very.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Jomer De Leon. Jomer is a multifaceted professional who embodies the principles of continuous growth and service to others. His core belief is a life well lived is a life of service. As a life coach and wellness coach, Jomer has dedicated his career to helping individuals unlock their full potential and achieve their personal and professional goals. His philosophy centers around the powerful motto, keep learning, growing, and serving. This approach has not only shaped his own journey, but it's also become the cornerstone of his work with clients and audiences. So please join me in welcoming Jomer De Leon to the stage. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, JB. To all the speakers who have spoke, I thank you. And as a matter of fact, if you can see, these are the notes that I took as I listen attentively, as you share your wisdom and your guidance and your life story as well. And as JB said, the foundation of what I do comes from that phrase, a life well lived is a life of service. And where that came from is really the influence of my mom, my dad, and my grandparents. Why am I here this morning? Well, I'm blessed to be invited. And Shu, thank you, by the way, my friend. Thank you for starting and continue to have this wonderful group that we're in. So thank you. And she'll reach out to me and share it with me and ask me if I can be part of the group. And I say, yes, of course, I would love to be part of the group. This morning, I will share with you a journey of my life. There are 3 things that I'll be sharing with you. And each point, I'll be sharing a part of my journey in my own life. There are 3 things. The 3 things I'll be sharing with you is what are the excuses that I have used in my life that has prevented me from moving forward, from achieving my goal, from really fulfilling the joy that I know I would love to experience. And maybe you can relate to these 3 things, or maybe you know someone who might be battling or struggling, facing these 3 challenges that I'm about to share you. I'm 52 years old, and I started my college degree when I was 48. As you can tell, I didn't take my school seriously when I was young. So when I was 48 years old, I told myself, you know what, Jomer, be honest. What do you really want to do? And what is it that will give you a lot of joy and satisfaction from this point on moving forward? And I said, you know what, I would love to have a career in nursing degree. And the reason behind it is because, 1, my wife is a nurse, and 2, not only it will help me have a stable income, but also I would love to use it as a way of serving other people. And I would love to be part of a Doctors and Nurses Without Borders, visiting third world country, providing medical help. As a matter of fact, me and my wife have talked about that about a year ago. So that's one of my drive why I want to become a nurse. And then so when I decided to pursue this degree, as a matter of fact, I'm still in school right now. Is that, but you're too old. You're 40 years old. But by the time you finish your degree, you'll be 55 if you're lucky. You know, again, because I'm working full time and I can only take 1 or 2 classes per semester. So I know it's going to take a lot longer. But I said, you know what? Here's a question I ask myself. Well, Jomer, guess what? You will be 52 or 53 or 50 old. It's just a matter of question is, will you have your college degree when that time comes? So being 34, 54, 53, it's not really an option. It will come. The option is, will you have your degree when that time comes? And will you be doing what you love to do, helping other people, volunteering your time with doctors and Nurses Without Borders, with you and your wife? So that's a question I ask sometimes. Sometimes it is what I call age excusitis. I'm too old to pursue my passion. I'm too old to pursue this career that I know will give me joy. I'm too old to pursue fill in the blank. Sometimes it is age excusitis. I'm too old. The other one is I'm too young. I'm working with, in our church that I attend, I'm working with young adults. Sometimes the reason I hear is that, well, I don't know, I'm too young to make a difference in the world. And sometimes it is, I'm too young excuse. I'm too young to offer something. When I tell them, I said, no, you're not. I said, you have life experience. You have learned lessons in your life that people who are younger than you can benefit from your life story, can benefit from your struggles, can benefit from the things that you learned that has helped you from the time you were 15 to now you're 19. And so you're not too young to influence and help other people. So that's the first thing, is what I call age excusitis. I'm wondering if you have been using that in your life, or you know someone. The second excuse that I use, and sometimes I hear other people use as well, is what I call past excusitis. Past excusitis. My past determine my future. Well, I failed in the past. What assurance do I have that I will not fail tomorrow? I started my wellness and fitness journey in 2008. I prepared for my exam for personal training. And the first time I took the exam, I failed. I studied so hard, studied so hard, studied so hard. And I said, I know I'm going to get this. I know I'm going to pass. Only to find out I missed it by 4 points. I was so disappointed. And then the doubt kicked in. Can I really pass this exam if I take it again? What if I fail again? And all those questions of what if I can't, what if I don't have what it takes? And I stopped for a moment. And I said, okay, one thing's for sure, drummer. I said, if you don't take the exam, you're not going to pass. So I had to rethink. And I said, okay, what did you learn about this journey? How did you study? What is it that you can improve so that when you study again for the second exam, that you'll do better? So I had to rethink. I said, oh, I'm going to teach my own self. When I study, I'll be vocalize what I'm learning instead of just reading it. Oh, I'll find someone and say, hey, can I share what I'm learning? So as I'm teaching them, I'm also remembering what I need to learn. So I'm happy to tell you that second time I passed with the flying colors. I didn't let my past of failure of not passing the exam to prevent me from taking the second exam. And because of that, I have been in this fitness and wellness journey since 2008. So what about you? Have you used your past failures to stop you from moving forward? Has your past failure prevent you from achieving the joy that you want to experience right now? Be honest. And I think that's one thing I've learned in my journey is honesty. I have to be honest about myself. I have to be honest. Drummer, why are you thinking this way? Why are you afraid to pursue this? So that's one thing I have to learn. I learned in my journeys. I have to be honest about how I think, how I feel. If this goal really is for me, or is it just for someone I want to feel good about? But really, I'm not taking ownership of it. It's just really, I want to make you happy. And so I have to be honest with my own life journey. The third thing is what I call STEAM exercises. What do I mean by STEAM exercises? Is the motivation, the drive, the fuel, right? Sometimes I know in my own journey, it says, well, I want to pursue my business as a wellness fitness coach. Great, wonderful. But where's the motivation behind that? What's the fuel that will move me forward? Years ago, I gave an example, and I gave a talk at Oracle where I used to work. And I said, you can have a very powerful car, let's say a Corvette with a very powerful engine, a beautiful car, 300 horsepower. I said, you can have a very powerful car with powerful engine, but that car, if it does not have any fuel, it's not going anywhere, regardless how strong and powerful that engine is. And I said, you need to have fuel to get that car moving. Well, they said it's the same thing for me and for you. I said to them, you might have a beautiful, powerful goal that will impact your life tremendously and other people in an amazing way. But if you don't have the fuel or the drive, the reason behind why, most likely you're not going to move towards that, whatever that is that you want to move forward to. So I had to ask myself and pursue my nursing, because as I started to pursue my nursing school, I failed. There's some classes that I thought I was going to do, and only to find out I got a D. And I had to find the drive, the motivation to stick with it, to push through. And so what drives me? So here's what drives me. Let me share it with you. As a Christian, one of the things that pushes me to move forward when I feel down, when I feel like, I feel like giving up. There's a wisdom that I've learned, says God's grace are new every morning, and they are sufficient to whatever struggles that I will face. Say God's grace. I repeat that every day. Say God's grace are sufficient every morning, and there are enough to help me go through my day. There's another thing that helped me to push through when I want to give up is taking action. Taking action. So what can I do right now that will move me from this slump? Is it a push-ups? Is it a jumping jack? Whatever it is, take an action that will move you forward to the things that you want to do. It could be a business, for example, and you don't have the motivation to do it, or you feel kind of down because your business is not moving where you want it to be. I say, what's one thing that I can do that will change my mindset? A lot of the speakers talk about mindset. What is one thing? Oh, okay, I'll call one prospect. Yeah, or I'll call my partner. Now, whatever it is, do something that will make you feel good. It could be as simple as making a phone call. I said, hey, can I share you what I'm going through, and can you give me some feedback? And sometimes that's all it needs. It's a simple act that will generate the fuel that we need to move forward, to press forward, to keep moving forward. So those are the three things that I myself struggle in my own life, and maybe you can relate to them, as I said. Using age as an excuse. I'm too young, I'm too old, or my past, excusitis, I failed in the past. What if I failed again? What if you don't? What if you succeed? And the third thing is the motivation, the drive, the fuel. Do you have that? Where does it come from? What fuels you? What lights you up? What gives you joy? What gives you excitement? What forces you to wake up in the morning and say, yes, another beautiful day. Let me close with this. One of the things that I'm working on right now is a program. A lot of you guys shared your own programs that you have created or currently working. I created a program. Really, the program really all started about myself. Pillars for Life Transformation and Health. And it has 5 components. I'll finish in about 1 minute. And there are, first, taking ownership. Unless I take ownership, nothing will change. Second, awareness. What is really happening in my life? And be honest. Things that I like, things I don't like. The third thing is honesty. Be honest. I say, Omar, be honest. Do you really like what's happening? If not, make some changes. The fourth one is be resilience, pushing through. The last one is take action that will move me forward. I thank you all. I wish you well. May you continue to live a life that serves others, continue to grow, and continue to serve. Anshu, thank you. JB, back to you.
Jomer, thank you so much. Really appreciate your great thoughts. I love the past excusitis and the steam excusitis. Those are great concepts that people should be able to really take in and embrace and implement as quickly as they can. When you're in your mid 30s and you make a failure, sometimes I should be beyond this. But you know what? At the end of the day, we're all learning. It's a growing experience. So thank you, gentlemen. It was very inspiring. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. I'd like to go to our next speaker. Jose Pereira is a leadership coach, resilience expert, and international speaker with over 35 years of experience in the oil and gas industry. And after being unjustly detained in Venezuela for nearly 5 years as part of the Citgo 6 hostage situation, he now advocates for hostage families and raises awareness about international hostage diplomacy. Jose founded Coach as a Survivor, LLC, leading programs on resilience, there's that word again, servant leadership, there's that concept again, and thriving after trauma, and delivering his inspiring signature speech From Captivity to Freedom globally. Please welcome Jose Pereira. Jose, nice to see you again. Uh-oh. I can't hear you. your speakers or your microphone on your side. Uh-oh. Well, we seem to be having some technical difficulties here. You're logged in twice, and on one side you're muted, and we cannot unmute you. Okay, I'm going to do something here. We'll try something. Okay, let's try this. There's always something, it's really interesting when we have people from around the world on different computer systems using different types of technologies, and we practice and we try. And this is a perfect example of resilience and overcoming strain and stress, right? We could be sitting here going, oh no, which I'm sure Jose is probably going, oh no. But we know that eventually this is going to get taken care of and everything's going to be fine. And I will tell you, I've had the pleasure of speaking with Jose in the past, and I've read his book. It's an amazing story of resilience and overcoming something that most people would not even begin to fathom and understand. I want you to imagine just for a second, while we wait for Jose to come on, imagine that you land after flying back to your home country, wherever that is, and you're immediately taken from that plane and removed from your family, and you don't get to see them for over 5 years. You're in isolation. You're in completely removed from society. You're thousands of miles away from your family. And just for a second, imagine being in a small, tiny room by yourself. No light, no welcoming family, wife, kids, no food. That's the kind of experience that Jose has gone through. So when we talk about mindset, and we talk about overcoming diversity, and how we can achieve the things that we want to talk about, sometimes when you compare your challenges, not saying that your challenges aren't huge or big, because everybody's challenges are big to them, right? So this is not a comment that's made to make people feel that their problems aren't big. But there are some things that are completely unfathomable. There's a difference between being able to not accomplish your goal for a particular day and not knowing whether or not you're going to survive that day because your captors have taken complete control of your life. That's an amazing experience to have to go through. And if you listened to some of the conversations that we've had today, the presentations from Jomer, from Dorela, and I know that we're going to have a great one from Heather as she comes up here shortly. These concepts, these ideas are the keys to helping you become the best that you can be. So yes, in fact, you do and have all of these obstacles. That's part of our human condition, that we have the unfortunate or fortunate, depends on how you want to look at it, situation where our life is going to be filled with obstacles. Sometimes those obstacles are going to be small. Sometimes those obstacles are going to be large. Sometimes they're going to come early in your life. Sometimes they're going to come like Jomer when they came later in life. It doesn't matter. We're going to face them. And in many instances, as I've learned speaking and listening to our speakers today, we have a tendency to want, I don't know if you've ever seen the commercial, the easy button. Can you imagine a little easy button where you press the button and everything that you wanted came true like that? Or press the easy button and all your problems go away? Or press the easy button and all of a sudden, all your dreams come true. Isn't that kind of the fantasy that we'd all like to have? And we kind of try and live our lives that way. That's not necessarily the case, though. I think we're meant to confront these obstacles and challenges so that we become the best that we can be. We're all given our innate capabilities and our natural talents. But sometimes it takes the crucible of fire to step up and overcome those crucibles so that we can actually move forward and hone our skill sets. Remember many, many years ago, just tell you a really brief story while we're waiting for Jose to come back on. You have to understand where your core values are, and overcoming your existing obstacles depends to a certain degree on what you believe your life to be. If you have small beliefs and you have small values, then guess what? You're going to live to that extent. But if you have a desire, an overwhelming feeling that you are destined to do great things like Shiraz was talking about earlier, then you have the opportunity to create those large things. If you don't open yourself to that opportunity, then who you are can't become the best of who you can be. So I welcome the opportunity to have an engaged conversation while we're having Jose come on board. We have a couple of speakers here, and I'm wondering if Dorela, would you be willing to come back on stage for a second while we're waiting? Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes,
So it's been an
I'm
interesting.
here.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So given the nature of what we've been discussing today, right? Overcoming and these lies that we tell ourselves, is this something? What has been your reaction to some of the concepts that have been presented today?
Well, as I said when I talked previously, I totally agree. I think that's why we are here, because we are the proof of how important mindset is and working with our beliefs. Because we can play the victim game. As I work with the beliefs, I always know that playing the victim game is not a choice. It's like we are forced because of our beliefs. And having people around us opening our spirits into, oh my God, is there another possibility? It can start the shift. For instance, I was in an unhealthy relationship back in the past, and I was reading some books, and there I understood that people who have healthy relationship cannot understand why would anyone stay in something that's not healthy. They cannot stay there. It's the exercise I did previously with the magnet. We don't understand why people think differently. And when we see people who are not thinking like ourselves, we can make a choice to start doing something. So some people will think that meditation is the right tool. Other people will think that releasing trapped emotions is the right tool. Others will say journaling is what I need. Others will do coaching. It's not one tool that it's good for everyone. It's what do you open yourself to use and start using it.
I love it. That's great. Thank you, Dorela. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I'd like to do right now is, Heather, are you there? What I'd like to do is, while we wait for Jose to come back on, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Heather Rosewood. She's a manifestation coach and success strategist for female founders, a professional speaker, a successful entrepreneur, and USA Today best-selling author. With a 7-figure business built from her own vision, Heather brings practical strategies and empowering guidance to ambitious women ready to create wealth, build thriving businesses, and design the life of their dreams. As the founder of the Rosewood Academy, Heather provides communities and tools for those ready to break free from limits, pursue success on their terms, and manifest big, bold goals in all areas of life and business. I'm excited to hear what she has to say. Welcome, Heather Rosewood. Thanks, Heather.
Thank you, JB. I'm so happy to be here. So I'm going to start kind of where I got to this spot. So I was standing in my kitchen, making lunches, trying to get everyone set for their day. And my then husband walks in the room. He looks me dead in the face and just says, "I'm done. I'm leaving. You're going to be penniless and homeless in the gutter like the piece of trash you are." That one sentence changed my entire life. I thought everything was good. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. And then it wasn't. I was like, this could not be real. I was lost. I was scared, hopeless. I went from being a really confident stay-at-home mom to insecure, renting a room from my aunt, and trying to figure out how I was going to support 2 little girls. I knew I had to figure it out. Failure was just out of the question. So I searched frantically for ways to make money quickly so I could pay the bills. And I wanted to invest in myself because, like many of you, I knew that there was something more for my life. I just didn't know what it was, and I had no idea how to find it. So I borrowed some money for supplies, and I started making necklaces on my kitchen table. Started out selling them on Facebook, and I turned that business into a multi-6-figure income. I took that money, and over the next 10 years, I hired coaches. I spent thousands of dollars and endless hours trying to find out what my more was. Through all of that time, energy, money spent, I learned that the answers were actually already within me. And that may sound simple and kind of complex at the same time, but it's really about knowing how to heal your broken pieces to access the answers. Through learning how to step outside of my comfort zone and take action, things began to change for the better. I got more confident, and my ability to be successful was more. Once I learned this, I went from being lost to knowing exactly who I am. I went from being scared to fearless, and I went from feeling hopeless to being more confident than ever before. Today, I'm a manifestation coach, and helping people is my calling. My story is not unique. For me, my spouse leaving was the catalyst to look for more. But for you, it could be a health crisis. It could be just simply feeling unfulfilled. Whatever the case may be, I believe when you take the time to connect with yourself, know the strength is within you, and you take action, even when you're afraid, your life can become limitless. And over the next 15 minutes, I'm going to talk to you about how you can create greater confidence in your life. I will give you steps to create lasting confidence using a little bit of science mixed with some woo-woo, and you will have the tools to rewire the way you think and feel about yourself. So, what is confidence? We all crave it. It's the foundation for stepping into a life that we're meant to be, right? Whether that's pursuing a dream, navigating a challenge, or simply just wanting to feel good walking into a room full of people. Maybe just showing up in the world as our authentic selves. Confidence isn't something we're born with. It's something we have to build. Most of our confidence struggles come from the stories that we tell ourselves. That running monologue in our head, like, I'm not good enough. What if I fail? I don't have what it takes. What will my neighbors, my family, my friends, whoever think? Those stories, they are not facts. They're patterns, pathways in the brain that you have reinforced over time. But the incredible thing about the brain is its neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to change and rewire itself. When you intentionally challenge those limiting beliefs and replace them with the empowering ones, you're literally creating new neural pathways. When you catch yourself thinking things like, I can't do this, just pause. Reframe it. How about, I'm learning how to do this? Over time, your brain is going to start to believe the new narrative. Telling yourself something over and over in intervals is constant spaced repetition. In my opinion, the 3 best tools for this are journaling, visualizations, and EFT tapping. It's like planting seeds. The more you nurture your thoughts, the stronger they grow. And just like seeds, you're going to have to water them. You have to be consistent, and you have to be patient. This isn't magic, no matter how much we want it to be. And confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes because of action. It's going to be messy, and that's okay. Nobody is perfect at anything the first time they do it. Literally nobody. And let's talk about perfection for a moment. So I know many of us struggle with it. We think that if we can just get everything right, we can avoid the mistakes, we can meet every expectation, we'll finally feel confident. But let me tell you something. Perfectionist is not a standard, it's a shield. When you aim to be perfect, what you're really doing is trying to protect yourself from the judgment, the criticism, from failure. And here's the paradox. The more you chase perfection, the less confident you're going to feel, because perfection is not attainable. Celebrate taking action, celebrate progress. Confidence doesn't come from getting it all right. It comes from showing up. It comes from learning and improving along the way. When I first started coaching, I was not perfect, far from it, but I kept going and I allowed myself to learn and make mistakes. I mean, the first time I went live on Instagram, I didn't know how to stop it. So I just panicked and I closed the whole app and I lost that entire video. Confidence grows when you embrace the perfect, imperfect, messy parts. It's part of the process. This is where you can learn the most. Another confidence crusher in my clients is comparison. We live in a world that it's easier to compare ourselves with others. So we scroll through social media, seeing people who seem to have it all figured out. They're the perfect family, thriving business. They got their dream lifestyle. And we're like, why am I not there? You're comparing yourself to you're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their struggles. You're not seeing their late nights or their doubts. You don't see the dishes that are in their sink or the laundry pile on their couch. You're only seeing the polished version that they're choosing to share. So instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday, who you were last week or last year. What progress have you made? What are you proud of today? The only person you need to compare and compete with is the person you were yesterday. And here's something that a lot of my clients don't prepare for, and it kind of hits them. And that is the way that your friends and family might react when you start stepping into your confidence and achieving success. It's a hard fact. Not everyone is going to celebrate your growth. Some people might downplay your achievements. They might criticize your decisions. They're even going to try and pull you back into the version of yourself that they're most comfortable with. And it's not that they're trying to sabotage you or not be supportive. It's often subconscious. They don't even know they're doing it. But your growth is going to trigger something in them. It might highlight areas where they feel stuck or unfulfilled. It might challenge their beliefs or what's possible. Or it could simply just disrupt the dynamic that they've grown used to. They feel like they're losing you. If you've always been the person who said yes to everything, people pleasing, or played small to make others comfortable, your new confidence might make that feel like a threat. So how do you navigate that? Number one, understand it is not about you. Most of the time, their behavior is a reflection of their own fears or insecurities. It's not your worth and it's not your choices. Set boundaries. If someone is consistently unsupportive or critical, it's okay to set boundaries. That might mean limiting the time you spend with them or changing the type of conversations you have. Your energy and your confidence are worth protecting. And as you know, you might need to seek out new relationships. Find your tribe. People who celebrate your wins, encourage your growth, and remind you of your potential. Sometimes your confidence can inspire others to reflect on their own lives and make positive changes. But it's really important to remember it is not your job to shrink to make others feel more comfortable. And it is also not your job to try and force them to grow. You can love them where they are and continue moving forward. When you take action, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. And the best part, when you act in alignment with who you want to be, you don't just build confidence, you shift the energy around you. In physics, this is called constructive interference. When two energy fields align, and amplify each other. They're going to create a more powerful wave. So similarly, when your actions align with your thoughts and desires, you amplify your results. And that is when you start attracting the opportunities. You start attracting the people and the experiences that match your energy. Now, when you think about your emotions, high emotions like joy, gratitude, love, they all align with the energy of abundance and success, amplifying those things in your life. And we have the law of polarity. So when your energy is filled with doubt, fear, frustration, it's out of sync with the things you want. So instead of amplifying abundance, you're going to cancel it out. And it's not just about your emotions. It's about the energy fields that you have around you. So when you surrounded yourself with negativity and stress, that energy is going to impact your own field. You absorb it and it lowers your vibration. So when you're around people who are positive and confident and supportive, their energy is going to lift yours, aligning with your goals. Your energy field is like a magnet for your reality. So when you tune in to those high energy emotions and surround yourself with people, environments that align, you're literally amplifying your ability to manifest the life you want. So pick one thing that you've been hesitating to do. Take a first step, whether it's speaking up, set a boundary, say yes to something that's outside your comfort zone. Just take action. I mean, what's the worst thing that's going to happen? Confidence isn't about what you do. It's about who you believe you are. So if you want to, I want you to visualize the most confident version of yourself. Picture yourself walking into a room. How do you hold yourself? How do you think? How are you dressed? Where are you going first in that room? How are you greeting people? Your brain cannot tell the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. So when you act as if you're already the version of yourself, you're teaching your brain, this is who I am now. Every time you align your actions with your future self, you're not only building confidence, but you're rewiring your brain to make that version of you your default state. The more you show up as that version of you, the more the people around you are going to begin to believe that's who you are now. So whether you show up in gym shorts and Crocs to dinner or a nice outfit, looking and feeling good, people are going to treat you as the version that you show up as. So a quick recap. To cultivate confidence, we need to rewire the stories that are holding us back. Use the power of neuroplasticity. Take bold, aligned action before you feel ready, because let's be honest, when we say we're waiting until we're ready, it will never happen. You have to decide you are ready and do it. Stop trying to be perfect. There is no such thing. Don't let other people influence your growth. If they haven't gone where you're going, their opinion doesn't matter. Step into the reality of your future self and let your energy amplify your results. Now, I know this is a lot to take in, and this is why I have actually created a resource to help guide you. It's called the Manifestation Starter Kit. It is packed with things like journal prompts, guided visualization, an EFT session, and it will help you rewire your beliefs and align to the energy with that you want. So confidence it's just the beginning. It is the gateway to manifesting the life you deserve. JB will drop the link so that you can download the starter kit, and you can always find out more by visiting heatherrosewood.com. So let me leave you with this. You deserve your best life, where you wake up feeling energized because you're excited to start your day. You deserve your best life, where someone asks you, what is your secret to being so happy, confident, successful? You deserve your best life, and you are one decision away from having it all. Thank you, JB and Anshu, for having me.
Oh, our pleasure. Heather, that's wonderful. What a great story. What a life journey that you've had, overcoming what you've done. Truly inspirational. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Everybody, you'll see the link that's been posted in the comments. Please take advantage of that. You can see it here. This is something that you really need to take advantage of. So again, thank you very much, Heather. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, so let's see if we can get our friend Jose back. Jose, are you here? Still.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I had to change the device. I don't know what happened with that device. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. You get 50 demerits for that. How's that?
Thank you.
My
Well,
pleasure.
thank you for having me. I when I was making my introduction, I was saying that thanks for Anshu for having me, and thank you, JB, for having me. For second time, we're meeting
Yeah.
here. So yeah.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to meet you. You probably didn't hear. I told a little bit about your story. I've read your book. Was enthralled by the whole thing many different times. But let's hear it from your words. Let's hear it from your experience and move forward. So everybody, one more time, please welcome Jose Pereira. Jose.
Thank you. By the way, yesterday I did something that it really surprised me. I asked ChatGPT, if you were a first-time reader of my book, give me your honest opinion what you think about the book. You have to see what ChatGPT. I posted in my Facebook and my LinkedIn so that people can go there and see the post. I put it in English and in Spanish, and I got surprised because I didn't think that the book had that impact about resilience, about faith, about overcoming adversity. So I wanted to put, I really was very honest when I was putting my thoughts, but wow, when I saw ChatGPT talking that way, it really surprised me. So really go and see the post in Facebook. You're gonna get surprised what ChatGPT talk about my book.
Okay.
So I wanna talk today about sometimes our worst enemy are not others, are ourselves. So do you know that voice that you listen sometimes is not coming from your boss? It's not coming from your peers. It's not even coming from your family. It's coming by your own self, by your own. So that inner dialogue has the power that can build or it can just destroy and break you down. So unfortunately, oftenly we have greater struggles because we don't learn from the battles and we don't learn from the boardrooms or the front lines. Sometimes we really learn in those quiet moments that we're alone with ourselves. And sometimes it comes that dog that creeps and whispers us and says, you cannot do this. So this is one of the worst things that can happen to you. But here is the truth. You can take control of that inner voice because everything is here. It's a matter of your mindset. So sometimes your inner voice can be your worst critic, but at the same time can be your biggest advocate. So you have to decide what you want it to be. So today I want to show you how you can do this, because that was what happened to me about what is the power of the mindset. So to the people that doesn't know me, my name is Jose Pereira, and I'm an author of a book called From Hero to Villain that I have here, Hero to Villain. And I also am a leadership and resilience coach. I'm going to tell why I decided to become a leadership and resilience coach. I'm a former oil and gas executive, and I'm a speaker, but the most important, I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor because my journey took me from the boardroom when I was the CEO of a multinational called Citgo Petroleum. And in November 2017, I went through some experience that I will never recommend nobody go there, because I was invited to go to a business trip and I became an international hostage during 5 long years. So that was my journey. So how my life really changed forever. So when that happened to me, I didn't know how to handle this. So I was torn away from my family, everything that I had. I lost everything. So I lost my family. I lost my freedom. I didn't have no certainty that what was going to be the future for me. So during the next 1,775 days, that is the official count, I lived in captivity. I was in a first year in a total isolation, so unimaginable hardship, and I was always battling with my fears and my self-doubt. I was always thinking, am I gonna survive this or I'm gonna die? And there's when all your mind begins to go all over the place and you will begin to have bad thoughts. In my particular case, I was having even suicidal thoughts. And this is something that today I really recommend to everybody. If you're having that voice that is giving you that strange things, please step back and begin to think in a positive way. So through it all, it became clear for me that everything is related to the mindset. Everything is related to the mindset. So when I was in those walls closed and I was alone, only with my thoughts, nobody, only with my thoughts. So I was facing the torment of the isolation. I was facing the fear of the unknown. I was having an unimaginable hardship. But I had the ability, I learned the ability to silence that self-doubt and begin to shift and see my perspective with strength. Because here comes when you decide to change your mindset, that even if you're going to any dark moment in your life, you begin to see the things in a different way. Because you don't become a victim of your circumstance. You decide that no matter where you're going in your life, you will gonna be determined that will not gonna mark your circumstance. When I discovered that I needed to come back in body, soul, and spirit to my family, and I changed my mindset, whereas I could silence that self-doubt, and I decided to move on. So during those years, I was grappling with uncertainty. But when I discovered that power of the mindset, that inner force, that everybody has that inner force inside, that is the unbreakable spirit that everybody has to overcome any adversity. And it began to give me hope, but I begin to pray and I begin to have something that is important, that I begin to have faith. So when you're going to any situation in your life, you need to have hope and you need to have faith, because I discovered the profound importance of silencing that self-doubt and transforming that in a positive mindset, because that makes you be focused in how you want to move and in which direction you want to go. So now I'm in this isolation, but I'm now having a positive mindset, and I decided that it was not going to mark my destiny. That circumstance is going to be a circumstance. I understood that was what's going on with me, but I decided to survive. So that's why I'm a survivor. So in those darkest moments, I learned that when you manifest positive, everything, your reality change. I've been hearing the speaker here talking about retraining the brain. I have been hearing talking about how you can not only retrain the brain, because the brain has plasticity, but everything you think, it becomes your reality. So even though I was in that moment, I was thinking in coming back to my home. And when we got together, because we were 6 guys, that's why we were called the Sit Go Six. We were separated, but then after 1 year, we were put together. So when we were put together, we had the opportunity to begin to exchange with the other, and we begin to cheer each other, and we begin to support each other. And now our reality was always talking about our families, talking about our kids, talking about the life that was waiting us outside. So that began to change our reality. And even when we were in that situation, we begin to have a positive mindset, and we begin to get more focused in what was going on. And we decided to take care of our well-being. Because one of the things that happens when you're going to any situation in your life is that you don't focus in the situation, and you don't take care of yourself. And it began to get even worse for you. So we decided to take care of our mental and our physical health. We begin to exercise, we begin to do yoga, we begin to read. I begin to write. So I begin to silence that voice that you always have inside, that if you don't silence it, it will be always coming back. It will be always coming back and saying, you cannot make this. You're not good enough. You don't have that ability. You're not that guy. So that happens in your life, and that happens in your business. When you're having a business and you think that you're not good enough, I don't have the same capability of my competence. So everything that you are thinking negative, you have to transform in positive mindset. When that happens, your worst critic becomes your best advocate. That is your mind, yourself. So now you're living that new reality. That new reality for you is that you can make things, even if you're today in a bad situation. Now you're having the vision where you want to be. And when you have the vision, when you want to be, you pursue that, you will pursue your dream and you will go there. That inner voice, in our case, was always there. But the good news is that we could tear it down. We could retrain our brain, and we begin to have those thoughts that made us think that we will come back in any moment in life. I can tell you that anybody that's hearing me, when I went through my captivity the last year, I was so positive and that I was going to come back. And I didn't know why, but I was having faith, and I was thinking every day that was going to be the last day in there. I remember we were praying in the night, and when we finished the prayer, we said, this is another day more, but another day less at the same time. That means that we were thinking that in any moment we will come back. I called my family, and I told them that bring me a luggage. And they asked, why you want the luggage? Because I'm going to go back with that luggage. And I brought the luggage with some clothes. I decided to bring some clothes. So the person that was making me the logistic, that brought me things to the prison, he brought me the luggage and he brought me some clothes. And I remember that we were having, by that time, we were already having 4 years by that time, and we were beginning to have visits from the ambassador that was negotiating for us a release. Now our case was very high geopolitics, and I knew that in some moment they're going to get some negotiation to get us back. So I told the guy that I will keep that luggage. And he asked me, why you want to have that luggage? Because that is going to be the reminder that I'm going to go back in any moment. Every morning when I awake, I saw the luggage and I said, hey, good morning, you're going to go with me in any moment. I stayed doing that every day, on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. And one day, 1 year after, they opened the door and I came back. And I brought the luggage. I had the luggage here in my house. So that luggage began to be my dreams. That luggage began to be the vision where I wanted to be. So in your life, have your own luggage and put inside your dreams and talk to that luggage and say to that luggage, I'm going to make it. No matter what you're having in your life, you are going to make it. But you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in God, in the miracles that happen. Because in our case, after 1 year, we came back through a prisoner swap. It was a miracle. I was accused to be an American spy in a communist regime. I could stay there forever. But I decided that I was not gonna break down. That was not gonna mark my circumstances, and I was keeping my faith and my hope, and I came back. So that was today what I call my survivor plan. I decided to convert this in my coaching program. When I discovered that everybody has inside that inner force, that you have, that no matter what circumstance you're having, you have that force inside. What you have to do is unleash it. And we could unleash it. And that's what today I teach the person, how they can unleash that unbreakable spirit that everybody has inside. That leadership spirit. That's why I'm a leadership coach. Because even I did leadership positions all my life. During my 35 years in the oil and gas, I really tested that true leadership during my situation, during my captivity, because the true leadership, you will test it when you push from your comfort zone. When you're going in those moments that you're pushed from your comfort zone, that your floor begin to shift and everything begin to crumble, is there where you're gonna test if you're a real leader or not. And we had to face that, and we discovered that we more than the experience that I had in my 35 years was the experience that happened to me during my 5 years of captivity, that we survived because we decided to become a leader of our life, a leader of our circumstance, a leader of our group. At some point, we begin to lead all the group, and now we are all here. We came back, all of us, and I saw them recently, and we are okay. Everybody's okay. So my story has that powerful message that anything in life you can overcome it. But you have to have the proper mindset, the mindfulness, the positive mindset to make things happen. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in God. You have to believe in and have faith. No matter what you're going in your life, you have to believe in yourself. I'm going to conclude here saying something that if anybody wants to reach me, first of all, I encourage the people to really read my book, because my book has that legacy. My book is not only my story of survival, it's the legacy that anything in life you can overcome it. And as I said, go and see the post I put in Facebook and LinkedIn, how ChatGPT, that maybe he went through my book and he had made the conclusion, and the conclusion that it brought to me were very beautiful, because that is the message that I wanted to convey, that anything in life you can survive it, that you have to have hope, you have to have faith, you have to be supported by the people that love you, never do things alone, and you have to take care of your well-being. And if you do this and you find your purpose, find what is the purpose, why you're going in things in life, my friends, you're going to survive things in life. So if anybody wants to contact me, you can go to my webpage, very easy, joseconnect.com. You go to there and you can find everything related to my speaking, everything related to my coaching, everything related to my book. By the way, I got surprised how much people are beginning to follow even in my YouTube page. It's growing 1,000 followers per week, something incredible, because I'm posting a lot of content there. I have my own podcast where I talk about this. And if you want to contact me, you can go there and you can book a call with me, and we can start from there. And again, anything in life, my friends, you can overcome it, but it's your decision. You have to silence that inner voice that say you cannot make it, and transform it in, I can do things in life. I can convert the impossible impossible, and I can make miracles because I'm connected with a superior power, and that's gonna make me survive anything in life. Said this, thank you very much, Anshu and JB, for having me.
Wow. Jose, as usual, you are an amazing speaker, an amazing man, and an inspiration for many people who have read your story And the people who need to hear that, again, go to joseconnect.com, read his book. I've read it, and it has really fundamentally changed how I approach things. Jose, thank you so much for your time. Sorry about the technical challenges that we had, but you know, as with all things, you have it, and you overcome it, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You just keep going and you overcome it. So again, a living example of persistence and resilience. Thanks again, Jose.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Well, this has been a power-packed day. And as we conclude day 2 of Global Speakers Talk, second annual live conference, I want to take a moment to honor the transformative work that has been done by our speakers and the work that you are going to do for yourselves. Together, we've heard stories that, you know, facing the lies that so often hold us back, those little people that sit on our shoulders that whisper those things of doubt and fear. They tell us that we're not good enough. And we've begun the powerful process of replacing those lies with truths rooted in courage, integrity, and possibility. But today isn't just about breaking down barriers. It's about building the foundation for a future where we embrace our potential and inspire others to do the same. That's what these speakers have all done. The ripple effect of this mindset shift will extend far beyond ourselves, creating connections and opportunities that bring us closer to the world we want to live in. But the journey for this 3-day event doesn't stop here. Tomorrow, we're going to take on the next challenge as we explore unlocking resilience, the secrets to winning in life. We'll uncover the tools to adapt, thrive, and create sustainable success, even in the face of adversity. Thank you, everybody, for showing up today. Thank you to our speakers who have given of themselves with their hearts and their souls, for embracing the growth and for being part of this incredible movement. So, take the time tonight to rest, reflect, and recharge, because tomorrow we rise even higher. See you all then. Thank you again.